Welcome to the launch of the new First Steps to Manager. Very exciting. It was launched yesterday at our Success Express, and I thought I would take this opportunity to just take you through the new First Steps to Manager and how we use that in our business as a fantastic tool to help build our new team members to manager. So without further ado, I'm going to start taking you through the presentation. And just to sort of set the scene, then obviously let's remember Forever's mission statement. We'll create a profitable environment where individuals can, with dignity, be what they want to be, where integrity, empathy and fun are our guidelines. We will create and cherish a passion for and a belief in our company, our products and our industry. We will seek knowledge and balance, and above all, we'll be courageous as we lead our company and its forever business owners. And that's by the wonderful Rex Morn. And remember, it's fun. This business is all about fun. So Forever is your opportunity. It's a fantastic vehicle for you to build your life in the way that you want to. So we're privately owned. There's a lovely Rex, cash rich and debt free. And that's our office in Milton Keynes, one of our product offices. Over 30 years of continued growth. We've just had our 38th birthday. So it's all very exciting times for Forever. And we're global. So when we're building, when we're introducing new people to this business, we need to think big. This is a global market, 158 countries. It's not just about the people that are joining the business right now and the people that live close to where you are. We've got consumable products, so these products are needed day in, day out, which is really important. So you're always going to have repeat customers. And your future is very safe with Forever. We have a fantastic product range, a global marketplace, cash-rich, debt-free, 2.6 billion turnover, an award-winning training scheme, the Investors in People Gold Award, which is fantastic. So the opportunity with Forever, and this is what we need to remember, especially when we're talking to new people that have just joined the business, this is an uncapped income. Uncapped. It's a global income. And I have income from 6 different countries every month at all different size checks. There's the Forever to Drive scheme. Okay, so you can be awarded an amount of money each month for 3 years, which you can put towards a car. There's global travel, chairman's bonus, a huge amount of personal development, and it's a legacy style business. What legacy do you want to leave? And the benefits are that you get a lifestyle without compromise, financial freedom, there's no debt, you can pay off your mortgage, long-term financial security, time freedom and choices. And that's not something you can get in a normal day job. This is a phenomenal opportunity. So your Forever ID is Forever, and that's your license to trade anywhere in the world. And it's a valuable asset to you and generations to come, because don't forget, this is willable. Once you've joined Forever, you can leave this to your children. It's a willable income. So it's your life and it's your choices. Beauty is Forever as a vehicle to enable you to do that. So when we first look at our First Steps to Manager, so our First Steps to Manager is a fantastic tool to enable us to build managers within our business, because this is a manager building business. And one of the first things that we look at, the first couple of pages in the First Steps to Manager are all about you. They're all about your new team member. Why are you here? What excites you? Why have you chosen a vehicle to achieve your goals and your dreams? Now, often, do some of you find this, that most people have never set a goal in their lives? Most people don't know how, they don't know how to break it down, yearly, quarterly, weekly, daily. Most people start out on this journey are full of hope. They start out with Forever full of hope, but when it comes down to detailing what they want, they struggle, because I know I felt like that as well. And most people don't know why they need to be setting goals. And it isn't interesting that most people spend more time planning their holiday, their annual holiday, than they do planning the rest of their lives? Isn't that interesting? So the reason we need to set goals is because every single one of us want something in life that we haven't yet got. And the reason that we need to set the goal is so we can make a plan to take us from where we are today to where we want to be. If you use, the aeroplane analogy, so when you're building a business with Forever, you've got to get those wheels turning. You've got to get the momentum going. And then you've got to put your foot down and get the speed up and the momentum to build that aeroplane, to get that aeroplane off the runway and in the air. And then you've got to keep going and get that aeroplane off the runway and in the air. Then you've got to get it to cruising altitude, and then you've got to get to your destination. So a goal is a bit like that. And goal setting is so that you can make a plan to take you from your current destination to where you're going to go. And the mind can only have clarity on something that is sharp, that can be a visual image, and once you've committed to that goal or to a dream board or something visual, it can become a reality, and then we can get focused. So there's no point in saying, I would like to do this, or I'm hoping I can do that. It's about clarity. It's about, I want to have X, Y, and Z, and I will do the work, and I will become that person who has X, Y, and Z. So when you sit down with your new Forever business owner, it's important that we realize that no one's ever done this before. And we have to remember it's about taking someone on a journey and getting into a relationship with them, asking the right questions. If you get this process right, you will see the magic happen. But remember, not everyone on day one knows exactly what they want and how they're going to get it. So we have to give some people time and build a relationship. And the relationship side of this business is just as important as the practical side of doing this business. It's not a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not a job. Forever is a lifestyle change, and it's a decision that you make. It's not just a job. So you're going to, with your new business owner, you're going to laugh together, cry together, you will become close, and then your relationship will change to be one of a more consultative level to help them build a bigger vision. So as you're helping them build their getting to their first goals that we'll talk through in a second, you are going to become close to that person and build a relationship with them. You'll build lifelong friends in this business, and that relationship and that friendship will start to develop. So it's all about what you are prepared to work for. Okay, so this is a business. It's what you're prepared to work for. And that word work is really important. Sometimes people don't put as much into their own business as they will for their boss at work. And they don't realize that there are sacrifices to make. So it is all about the work that you put into this. So you can set goals, but if you don't put the work in, you will never achieve them. So there are two types of goals. A need goal, which is usually a short-term goal, 3 to 9 months. And there's also a want goal, and you're looking at sort of 1 to 2 years. So a need goal could be something like, I need a couple of grand a month to pay off debt. And it's usually very similar for most people. It's usually they need something that's going to alleviate the debt problem, or have more months at the end of their money, or have more money at the end of their month, sorry. And a want goal could be like a new house in the country. So once the need goal is handled, it takes the pressure off, and then you can focus on what they really want. So a need goal is like 3 to 9 months. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty of what you need to do daily, and it's getting to do the work, planning it, doing it, and reviewing it. And then your want goal is, your 1 to 2 years, which is probably your short-term want goal. And then you're going to have a want goal for like 3 to 5 years, which is longer term, which is what you're really prepared to work for. And there must be a sense of urgency attached to their need goal. It's really important that you have a sense of urgency. Now, some of the questions that I ask people when I'm talking about their goals to really help them get to where they want to be are things like, if you won £1 million, what would you do differently? What would you do differently? How would your life look? If the doctor told you only had 6 months left to live, what would you do differently with your time? 6 months in a healthy way, And what would you do differently with your time? What have you always wanted to do but maybe been afraid to attempt? You know, and if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do differently? If you could be granted any one skill or ability, what would you choose? What gives you the greatest feelings of pleasure, joy, satisfaction? What really makes your heart sing? What legacy do you want to leave? How do you want to be remembered when you're gone? And what one great dream would you hold for yourself if you knew you were guaranteed to succeed? Those kind of questions will really help you to help them find their really deep desired goals. But the key is, this is a work list, not a wish list. So it's really important that they understand that Forever can give them anything they want if they're prepared to work for it. And that really is the key. So as long as you can never fail in Forever, as long as you're consistently doing your daily business building. And give them 10 minutes to consider what they're really willing to work for. It's really important. So as long as they're enjoying their journey, stepping out of their comfort zone, not comparing themselves to anyone else, success is inevitable if they're doing the activity every single day, consistently, until they achieve that goal they're looking for. And that's part of the planning process. So it's not a wish list, it's a work list. Okay? So in your first planning session, I'm just going to go back to this one. So in your first planning session, set the scene with the time that you're going to have, okay? So I usually set the scene that's going to take at least 90 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, and that you're very conscious of your time. So as soon as we get to 90 minutes, we'll leave it there, wherever we get to. And we're going to go through these goals in a lot of detail. So you've got your personal goals. Get them to write them down. If they haven't written them in their book, write them as you write them. So you write everything that they write. Then you've got your family goals. You know, what do you want to do with the family? What would that mean to them? And then you've got your business goals. What have you seen on the marketing plan that excites you? So you're going to have a bit more direction now. So remember when you're going through these goals that it's really important that you understand why. Why is that important? What would that mean to you if you had that? And get as much detail as you can. So, you know, if they want to buy a trip for Disney, why? Why do you want to go to Disney? What would that mean to you? How are you going to feel when you've booked your tickets? How will you feel when you're out there in Disney? Once you've got an emotional connection to a goal, the magic will happen. So, and then when you're looking at the business side, so what have you seen on the marketing plan that excites you? So you start to get a bit more directional as you get to the business goals. So what would you want to help others. They say, that's something I'd love to help others. Okay, which means that you want to build a team. So you need to be able to share opportunity and help other people to become a manager, and to do that you need to become a manager yourself. So you can start to get more directional at that part of the goal setting. What would you like to be making in 6 to 18 months? If travel was a goal, are you inspired that you can travel with a company? And it's using words like, I can promise you that if you don't quit, you will succeed. I can promise you that the only way you'll fail is if you quit. So, and it's setting the expectation from the beginning. This is your business. I will work with you. I will support you every step of the way. I can show you how to do this business, but I can't do it for you. I don't go into loads of details about their long-term goals, like a house in the country, £100,000 in the bank, because sometimes people want them, but they doubt their ability to achieve them. So if you tick off the short-term goals first, their belief in achieving the long-term goals is going to grow. So if their short-term need goal is, I just need an extra few £100 a month because I can't afford going out for dinner with husband, the children want to go to Legoland, and I just can't afford things like that. So once you've ticked those things off, their belief in the longer-term goals will grow. That's why small achievements build their confidence that they can really get to where they want to be long-term. And all the way through their goals, show great interest and reassurance that the goals are fantastic, that they personally are great, and that you're going to go on this journey together. Show them that you've done it. You know, I've done it so I can show you. And if you're still on your journey, you know people that you work with who are doing it, who have done it. You can share stories. Remember, facts tell, stories sell. Stories are really important, and I cannot emphasize enough how important going to trainings and success days are for hearing stories, because they're the kinds of things you can share with people to help to build their belief. Also make it clear to them that you're here to help them, but not there to do it for you. I can't teach you anything if I do it for you, but if I teach you anything, I can do it with you, okay? Because what you don't want, you know, is if I do it all for you, what happens when you become manager? You're not going to know what you're doing. And it's recognizing the small things, you know, all the way through their journey. So, you know, their 4CC, their first recruit, their first launch, their first phone call. All those tiny things will help build their goals. You know, long-term goals, you know, maybe 5 to 7 years. And just remember that they don't know how. They don't, a lot of it, you can't, it's very difficult to see that long-term goal when you join the business. So 100% belief is not there yet because they've not achieved the smaller goals yet. So just explain that to them. So, you know, once you've gone through this, you're going to say to someone, okay, so what is your most important goal? What is the most important thing you're working towards? And bear in mind as well, which I should have said at the beginning, when you're setting an expectation, I always say to people, we're going to spend at least 45 minutes talking about you and your goals. Okay, so I make that really, really clear. And obviously there is some pre-planning to do before you have this planning meeting when we talk them through their first steps to manager. So if they say to you, for example, right, okay, time, that is my most important goal, I just need more time. So you would say, you know, okay, so in order for you to be able to have time with your daughter, you know, take her to gymnastics, you know, pick them up from the school run and have that quality time, can you give me an idea of what kind of income you need to make that possible? Okay, so they may say £2,000 a month. In order to make that couple of grand a month, our first stepping stone is the manager position. And once we've achieved that, we're then going to be looking for a couple of managers to come up behind you. So this is your goal, and it's reaffirming all the way through. So this is your goal. This is what you're prepared to do, whatever it takes to get up early, to stay late, turn off the TV, rearrange some social engagements, and share stories. You know, this is what I did, you know, and I will happily share stories to say, you know, when my business, when I seriously sat down and thought, this is where I want to go with my business, I turned my television off. And that's the sacrifice I made, because that's how important it was for me to build that income to enable me to have the time that I wanted and the stress-free life that I wanted. So it's sharing stories, always sharing stories, reaffirming and, you know, supporting them all the way through. So in order to get that goal, you'd be asking them, so in order to get that goal, how many hours a week can you commit to? You know, they might say 10, 20. So in the next 6 months, we're going to spend 20 hours a week. So it's going to enable you to spend time at home with the children, taking them to gymnastics, doing the school run, because that's what's most important to you. So it's getting them to reaffirm and confirming all the time. You know, and you know, using words like I can see it's important to you, so if I'm hearing this right, you're prepared to put the work in and the structure in place to get you to spend more time with the children, and your first step is the manager position. Okay, so you're going to get confirmation all the way along this. When someone starts believing in you, you will believe in you. And when you have an emotional connection, you'll get to work. So remember this for yourself, and also when you're helping new people get started in the business. When the why is clear, the how becomes really easy. Okay, so that's the goal setting part. And if you remember what we said just a moment ago, you can never fail them forever as long as you're consistent in daily building your business, okay? The only way you will fail is if you quit. It's as simple as that. So as long as you're enjoying your journey, stepping out of your comfort zone, not comparing yourself to anyone else, success is inevitable if you're doing the activity every single day consistently until you achieve the goal that you're looking for, okay? So that doesn't mean doing a little bit one day, nothing the next, a bit the next, then loads at the weekend. It's consistently every day, and it's what forever can give you anything if you're prepared to work for it. So it's really thinking about that. Okay, so then you're going to talk through the case credits, understanding case credits. Okay, so in our first steps to manager, you've got your pages of the case credits, and it's important that we take people through understanding the case credits. So it's understanding that a case credit is our currency because we're global. This is a currency that we have across the world, so that our business is easy to measure anywhere in the world. So every product has the same CC value. And in the UK, one case credit is worth about £166 at wholesale, which is £237 at retail. And it's explaining the importance of a 4cc month. It's explaining the importance of the basics of your 4cc and talking them through how we build these case credits. So we build them through personal use and encouraging people to explore the whole range. So every time, you know, it's the whole black bin exercise. So it's helping people to understand that once they've got their box, they start using those products. The gels go in the fridge. They start getting their family involved. And exploring the whole range, you know, looking into, you know, buying additional products. Every time you replace something in a home, buy something from the Forever range. And it's retailing. So it's finding about 20 regular customers who are spending 25 quid a month. You're going to make £500, okay? Your turnover is going to be £500 a month, okay? Of which you are going to be making, bear with me a second, £175, okay? So it's retailing. And then you've also got recruiting, okay? So a couple of assistant supervisors a month, just over 2 case credits. And it's understanding that the 4cc is how you will build and manage a business. That is your basis for building and manage a business. Monkey see, monkey do. People will do what you do. So having a solid 4 case credit retail business with a sponsoring on top of that is imperative. Once you master the 4cc habit and teach your team to master it, everything on the marketing plan is possible. So it's getting to understand that if you are too heavy on sponsoring, you will not have any stability and growth and you won't hit anything on the marketing plan. If you're too heavy on retailing, your business won't grow. So you need to get that even balance. So unlocking the potential of the marketing plan. So this is when you would now take your new business owner through the marketing plan and show them how they make money through the Forever marketing plan. And it's really important so that people can actually see how the activity they are doing is going to build them an income depending on where their goal is and exactly where the money comes from. Because once you can put a money and a figure on their activity, it makes things very clear and very simple. Now obviously all of the bonuses are paid on retail, not wholesale. They're all paid on retail, which means full price, obviously excluding VAT, but full price. No one can bypass you on the marketing plan, okay? It's a global opportunity. It's uncapped income. All positions are permanent, so you don't drop back down again. Your income and promotions are down to you, and you can't be made redundant. All you can do is stop. So the magic of the marketing plan, okay? So we have the marketing plan laid out here from you from a novice customer through to the manager position. And this is when you can show people and take them through the marketing plan so they understand the finance behind what they're doing. So you would start off with an assistant supervisor position. So they join the business, and this is where they get a 35% discount, okay, which comes off at point of sale. So when someone orders a product, it's explaining to them, your assistant supervisor in the business, you are going to be getting a 35% discount because you get a 30% discount on the products and a 5% personal bonus. That means that when you order your products, you pay 35% less than what a retail customer will pay you for them. Okay? So if, for example, someone buys a bottle of gel from you for £21.62, your profit is £7.38. And it's explaining so that they can understand how they make the money. If someone buys a C9, they pay you 108, you order it for 74, you're going to make £34.86. And people can start to see where the income comes from. If someone orders an RG, They'll pay you £52.31. You order it for £36.62. You're going to make nearly £16. And for every 1 cc retail, you are going to make £82 in profit. Okay, so if someone's goal is to earn an extra few £100s a month, they do 4 cc, they're going to be making £328. Okay, so you can relate that to exactly what they are looking for and their goal. Okay. Every new assistant supervisor that you recruit, you will make £39 in profit as well. And this is imperative that you can, and then you can give some examples. Okay, so if you retail a couple of CCs, that's £164. You recruit 4 assistant supervisors, that's £156, so you've made £320. The second example, you retail your 4 CC, so that's your £328. You recruit 3 assistant supervisors, you've got £445. And people can see where this is coming from. And I think this is really, really important. You retail 4 CC, you recruit 4 people, £484. So it's making sure there's real clarity on where their income is coming from. What would you do with £484? Would that enable you to do X, Y, and Z? And how is that going to make you feel to be able to take them to Legoland when you turn up and they don't know where they're going? It's having that emotional connection all the way through. So then you've got the next level on the marketing plan, which is supervisor. So now your team building bonus kicks in because you've now got a personal bonus of 8%. Okay, and this is 25 case credits over 2 months. So now you can start to talk about the income that you will build as a supervisor. Okay, so what you're saying here is to get to supervisor, and I always use the bicycle analogy, which is essentially, you know, when you start your business with Forever, look at it as riding a bike. You need a couple of stabilizers to get that bike steady. So we're looking for a couple of stabilizers, a couple of other people who love the products and simply want to earn an extra few £100s a month and will be happy with a 4 case credit business, earning £328 a month. And I always say to people, I'd feel bad if I didn't get you that second income stream. It's a no-brainer. It's very straightforward. All the time that you're an assistant supervisor, the business is dependent on you. When you become a supervisor, you've now got a second income stream because your team building bonus kicks in. And it's very straightforward, and it's helping other people to do the same. So it's finding 3 other people to do exactly the same, 4 case credits a month. So now you're going to make £88 profit each time you retail a case credit. And each time you sponsor someone, you're now going to make £45 each. And now you've got your team building bonus that kicks in. So for every assistant supervisor who's 4 case credit active, you're going to make you £24 in profit. So you can give another example. So you retail 2 case credits, you sponsor 3 people, you've got 3 people in your team who are doing their 4 CC, you're going to make £383. And then we can take them through the assistant manager. So now, as an assistant manager, which is 75 case credits over 2 months, you now have a personal bonus of 13%. Okay? So that means that for every 1 case credit you retail, you will make £98 in profit. Now, each time you sponsor somebody, you will make £54 in profit. For every assistant supervisor who does 4 case credits, you now make £64. This is where it's so important to help people to hit their 4 CC by doing it yourself. It's really important to have a really strong retail business, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So for every supervisor who does 15 CC, because that's roughly an average supervisor business, that's £150. So if you look at this example, you retail a couple, you recruit 2 assistant supervisors, you have 1 assistant supervisor who's 4 case credit active, 2 supervisors in your team, you're looking at £668 a month. And incidentally, my last bonus as an assistant manager was £621 before I actually went manager. Now we've got the manager position. So now you have a whopping 48% discount. And this is 120 case credits over 2 months. So now you can see the difference in your income. £108 in profit for every 1 case credit that you retail. For every new assistant supervisor recruited, you're going to now make £64 in profit. Every assistant supervisor who does 4 case credits, you make £104 in profit. So if you're bringing people in, you've got people in your team who are doing 4 case credits, you're going to make £104 in profit. Every supervisor, you now make £300. It was 150 in the previous slide. Okay. Every assistant manager who's got a business of about 45, you're going to make £450 in profit. So if you look at this example, you retail a couple of case credits, you recruit 2 assistant supervisors, you've got 3 assistant supervisors doing 4 case credits, you've got a couple of supervisors doing 15 CCs a month, you have an assistant manager in your group that's 45 case credits a month, that's £1,706. Would that give you the time that you need with your daughter to be able to take her to school, pick her up from gymnastics, spend time with the family? How's that going to make you feel? Okay, so it's always relating back to their goal. What would you do with an extra £1,600 a month? What would it mean to you? How many of your goals would you be able to achieve by developing a manager business? So people, it's always affirming what it can actually do for you. And then we're developing your managers. So it's taking them through the next part of the marketing plan. And this is where it goes to senior manager and beyond. So it's explaining that this is a manager developing business. So when your focus shifts to helping other people, you will naturally achieve what you want to achieve by helping others to achieve. And you can talk through typical incomes. So as senior manager, you're helping other people get to manager. And you're looking at anywhere from 29 to 61K. Now I know senior managers on a lot more than that. And as a manager, my income is slap bang in the middle of that. So these are very reserved incomes and they're uncapped and the world is your oyster. Storing manager, anywhere up to about 100,000. Sapphire manager, so you help 9 managers to become 9 people to build a manager business. You're typically going to earn anywhere up to about 168,000, and you now get your gem bonus, which means your royalty income. When you help someone get to manager, you now get a royalty income on their entire business of 6%. When you hit Sapphire, you have a gem bonus that kicks in, which takes that 6% to 7%, and that can make a huge difference to income. Anywhere from £2,000 to £10,000 per month. And the reason I say that is because the success days I've been at, I remember Emma Cooper saying that in 1 month when her gem bonus kicked in, her pay went up by 10 grand. There was another lady on stage who talked about her gem bonus increasing her income by 3K in 1 month. So this is how you can build your business, and then you have access for Forever to Drive, global travel, the chairman's bonus. The opportunities are endless. What would you do with a couple of holidays a year fully paid for? What car would you buy when you qualify for Forever to Drive? What would you do with your first chairman's bonus check? So then we're going to say we've related them to their goal. Right, are we ready to get to work? Okay, so this is what you want to achieve. This is what's going to get you up early in the morning. That's what's going to make you turn off the TV. Are we ready to get to work? And then we're going to talk them through the retailing. Okay. So the first time that we take them through the retailing, it's all about showing and telling on the retailing side. And incidentally, when you're planning your new person, your first planning meeting would go through their goals and take them up to the retailing. And then we would talk about the business cycle in planning meeting 2. I'm going to take you through the business cycle today, but the planning meeting 2 would talk about the business cycle. So once we've gone through the retail, we would leave them to set up their launches and all the other retail activities that we talk about on their to-do list, and they'd also be sent away to make sure that they make a huge maximum impact on their who you know list, ready for when we chat next time. So going back to the retailing, So it's all about showing and telling. And we've got lots of different ideas in the First Steps to Manager to show people how to start building their business. And one of the best ways to get started is how to do a launch, okay? And it's getting started on the launch. And I heard a lady at the weekend at Success Day say it took her a while to do launches. She made excuses, don't think anyone will come, everyone's working, house isn't big enough, haven't got time to get home and clean it, etc., etc. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never do it. You've just got to get stuck in and do it. And it's helping your new person to see the value of launches and talking them through a home launch, how to invite people. Very important how people invite people. It's very much about starting a new business. Would love it if you could come around and support me. Okay, how to send the invites, what to do on the night, closing the launches, and what happens next. So it's talking them through a launch and getting dates in the diary. And I always advise 3 to 4 dates within the first month, straight in the diary. You can do online launches as well, okay, and it's talking them through how they work. I know loads of people that have done them. I do lots myself. You can use them on Skype. You can do an online launch where you actually are live and you show people. So an online launch you can do if you do not live close to your new team member, so you can actually Skype in and do it for them. They hand the products around and you do everything for them. Or you can actually do an online launch where you use Facebook and you, sorry, just bear with me a second. If there's someone on the phone, I think someone's on the phone. Could you just pop yourself on mute for me, please? If there's someone on the phone, could you pop yourself on mute, please? Okay, we'll just try and get through it. So you've got your online launches, which you would just do for somebody, and then, you know, which you can do to show them how to do it. And then you've also got online launches that you can do. Okay, just bear with me a second. If there's somebody on the phone, could you please put yourself on mute?
Well, now you see, everyone is afraid of me.
Guys, I'm so sorry, I don't know how to mute this person. Ah, ta-da, done. Thank you. Okay. Yes, so going back to online launches, you can also do like a Facebook online launch, which you can talk people through. So I'd get all these dates in the diary, talk them through the preparation, and you've got all of the access to the shared files to show people in the pinned post as to what to go through with people. Focusing on the C9, and we have additional training on the C9. So we've got lots of additional training in the files to help people with the C9. I always encourage people to do it themselves and explain the value in doing it themselves, and I share stories. I share stories with people in my team that's got to supervisor from doing the C9. I share stories of people who have got to supervisor purely on retail. I share stories of people I've sponsored who have done the C9, and share it with everyone, and using the documents and the words to use, etc. And we have specific trainings in the files that you can direct people to on the C9 as well. And then you've got PUPs. You know, I always encourage people to do PUPs. Okay, these are really important retailing things to do the minute that someone joins the business. So we get the launch dates in the diary, live and online. We encourage them to invest and do a C9. We talk about the C9 challenge, which means if they find 5 people to do it with them, they will make £75 and their box will be paid for. PUP packs, personalising them. With the box that people get, you can actually use some of those products in there to create a PUP pack. You don't have to lend out a gazillion of them. 3 or 4 products that you could give to someone. You know, you could do a baby mother-to-be one with just simply the hand and face cream, propolis, and a sanitizer or something like that, which is already in there. So I encourage those to be active straight away. And just going back, sorry, to that activity, other things I'd encourage people to do is a customer trial group, and we've done a specific training on customer trial groups, which was where you can message people to encourage them to trial one of your products for your new business. So there are loads of different things that you can do, loads of different things. So I always make sure that we've got that retail activity done and dusted and it's on their to-do list. And then we're going to take people through how we build a team, okay? And why sponsoring, and it's all about the CCs and all about the sponsoring. Okay, so we're going to talk them through our business cycle so that they understand what our business cycle is and how it works and why it is so important, and the fact that it is so simple. Okay, that it is really, really simple. And the most important part to this is sharing experiences and stories, because it impacts others and motivates others to go around the cycle effectively. So really look at your why, and because if that's not spot on, you'll fall at the first hurdle. And it's really, really important to look at your why, and that's why, when I go back to goals, I ask some of those questions. What makes your heart sing? If you won £1 million in the lottery, what would your life look like? What legacy do you want to leave? If you could have one great achievement, what would you dare to dream for yourself if you knew that you couldn't lose, you couldn't fail? So making sure their why is rock solid is really important. And it's understanding why we use the Forever Business Building Cycle. Okay, and we've got to learn the skills relevant to building the business. It's really important that we learn the skills of how to take people around this building a team, and we're going to talk your new team members through this. And it's creating and managing duplication locally and globally. This business cycle is simple, it's straightforward, it's duplicable, and it enables you to build a business anywhere in the world easily, in person, face to face, over the internet, and people need to understand how simple that is. And to show your prospects what's possible, to make it really easy for a new Forever business owner to learn and apply. So we keep this really simple. So we start off focusing with our why. That's the first quadrant. Okay, so the first quadrant is your who you know list. If you had a traditional business, you've got a market that, you will have a market. You'll have to market that business to people. So you need a database. It's as simple as that. Forever is no different. So it's not a who do you think would be interested list. It's an everyone you know of list, whether you know them personally, whether you know their number, their name. It's a empty your head list. Okay, so, and use stories to refer, stories from success days, prejudging. I always use the story of Ange Lochran, who didn't follow up on a prospect actually because she just assumed she'd never be interested in the business. She joined someone else's team, and over the years that lady has built a phenomenal business in Forever. She has missed out on $250,000 in commission, $250,000. I talk about Michelle Stonehill's colleague who was cross-lined to her in a different team, meeting her for coffee, who was really upset one day, who said that I finally plucked up the courage to speak to someone that was on my who you know list, and he joined the business last month with someone he didn't know. And to top it all off, 2 weeks later, she saw him on stage going manager. So share stories to show people that you really cannot assume anything in this business. It's so important that you empty your head of every single person you can think of and fill the list with as many people as you can. You've got to get out your comfort zone, okay? And it's important that, you've got to fill this list with as many people as you possibly can. It's printing off your Facebook friends. It's thinking about anyone you used to go to school with. It's going through as many people as you possibly can. And then you've got social media as well, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, WhatsApp. Any forum you've got, then this list needs, and you're looking at 300 to 1,000 plus on this list, local, national, and global. I'd encourage you to have separate lists for global, and separate lists for UK or whatever country you live in, and separate lists for global. So this is when your who you know list starts to get really interesting, because it's your database. Why do you need it? It's going to lead you to team members, customers, referrals, people that say no or not now. But as you know, as we know, as a forever business owner, the people that say not now, you just keep in touch with, because life changes. It may just be that right now they don't need what you're looking for, what you're offering them, but in the future they might do. Trust yourself. You know more people than you think you do. Don't worry about the naysayers. It's very, very normal. Negative people don't pay your bills or give your kids the future you want for them. So your list needs to be huge, and you need to be adding to it daily, and making sure that you're adding to it all the time. It's so important that you're adding to it all the time. Don't prejudge. Don't assume. Don't assume that people have got loads and loads of money and they won't be interested, or people can't afford to buy the box. We don't have the right to assume for someone. We've taken away the opportunity of that person to make a difference in their life. It's not for us to decide whether this job or this opportunity is right for them or not. It's for them. And I guess, we need to let people know that this opportunity exists. And if they think it's right for them, then great. But if not, they'll come back to you when the time is right. So empty your brain step by step in your life. Okay? So when you went to school, go back to all your schools. Who did you go to school with? Where did you go to school? Go on Facebook, put your school in there. There's bound to be a group. Where did you work? Where did you used to work? How many jobs do you have? Right the way back to when you were at school, when you waitressed, when you had a Saturday job. I worked at Dulcis. Does anyone remember that? Places that you've lived, neighbours, friends, anywhere you can think of, family, close family, distant family, people that live abroad, children's friends, parents, pastimes, schools, all of those kind of things. Clubs that you belong to, occasions that you've hosted, places that you've lived. There's going to be some people in these lists that maybe you don't like. Maybe you couldn't think anything worse of working with them. Write them down anyway, because they will lead you to trigger memories of other people. It's a who do you know list, not to, it's a who do you know of list, not just a who do you know. So it's building as much information on here as you possibly can. And then thinking about new opportunities, where can you go? Get out and about, get out there, get out your comfort zone, get out and about to the gym, go to a networking event, speak to someone who was given a product referral, be yourself, keep it really simple. So this is so important, print your Facebook friends list. This is all in the training, and your upline will be able to give this to you, and there'll be links to show you how to do it. Get all your phone contacts off. And for every name you write down, who do they know? It's really thinking deep about, who all of these people know. And to think big. We're global. We're a business without boundaries. Think bigger. If you don't know anyone abroad, people around you do. Opening up your business to a global income, the potential is amazing. Okay, and the internet makes the world a very small place. So join groups that you have an interest in, become an active member, make friends and connect with those people. And when you go on holiday, connect with people, talk to people, make friends, show an interest in their family and children, build relationships, and physically write them down. So in pages 14 to 17, you've got loads of pages where you can write them down, but you can print them off as well. Use the memory jogger activity. This is essential, and I do it every 4-5 months. I go back through the memory jogger activity. With social media, get comfortable with social media platforms. Just with a couple, you don't have to go nuts. Just get comfortable, connect, get into real work, get on the phone. And once but also with social media, you do need to be getting people on the phone. It's a very person-to-person business as well. Okay, so the next part of the cycle is contacting and showing. Okay, so it's making contact and showing. Now, when you're sharing the opportunity, you're showing the opportunity to someone. So it's important that you are just yourself. And it's really important that when you show show someone the opportunity, the focus is on the needs and the wants of others. Okay, we need to keep it really simple, but bring across your energy and enthusiasm. If you haven't heard of attraction marketing, your belief in this business and your love and your excitement for what you're doing is really important. And be persistent and consistent. Small habits repeated daily give massive, massive results. Okay, and the key with this business is contacting 5 people a day will bring freedom your way, and the fortune is always in the follow-up. And it can often take 6 to 12 times of connecting or speaking to someone before they even take a look. And I'm going to talk you through how you do that. So we talk to people as we're going through this about how we profile our customers and prospects, which is really, really important because you're focusing on what is in it for them. And that's really, really important. And if you think of something in terms of consistency and persistency, if you think of something, you're going to get loads of no's. So it's really important when you're sitting down with your new business owner that you set the expectations. This is what to expect. You're going to get loads of no's, but don't worry about it. That is just the nature of the business. And if you didn't have no's, you wouldn't have any yeses. And those people that are not for now, if you think of something you buy regularly, we buy shoes, handbags, then think, have you bought that today? Probably not. It doesn't mean that you never want them. You just don't want it today. So when you go back to them, they may decide, that they want them then. It's just so it's keeping in touch with people. Wait for them. And also, you don't want someone to join if they're not ready. It's your time. If they're not ready, there's no point. It's your time you're spending with them. So you just wait for people to be ready and celebrate the no's. Most people struggle with them because the memories of the no's, from no when we were kids is always a bad thing. No has always been not good. But you know what? Celebrate it. Jump off your seat and go, woohoo, it's another no. It's just, and get people to expect that this is what is going to happen. So before we share the opportunity with someone, it's really important that we profile that person. Okay, and it's really important that we think about what is in it for them, what is in this person, in this business for that person, why I have thought of them. And it's all about sharing the opportunity. So profiling is really important, and this is why you've got the sharing the opportunity sheets. And it doesn't matter how well or how little you know someone. If you're talking to a new business owner, it's important that you are setting the expectations that you would expect them to complete one of these before they contact anybody, and the importance of why and making sure they understand why they need to do it. Have an objective in mind. So you're going to contact someone. Are you going to send them a video? Are you going to send them to a website? Are you speaking to them about products, or are you going to do a one-to-one? So you're going to meet them in person, have a coffee, and do a little presentation about the business, or are you going to do a one-to-one online? Send them a link and do a one-to-one online. So make sure you know what your objective is. And then when you're going to approach them, you can either phone them, text them, send them a message on Facebook, or it will be when you're out and about and you're speaking to them. The best approach is by phone or face-to-face. People like people contact. Now, in this day and age of social media, it's unusual. In fact, Bob Parker made a joke yesterday at the Success Day to say that actually he didn't realise until recently that the youngsters actually buy mobile phones not to talk to people, which is quite funny because it's all done through Messenger and stuff. But if you imagine you get a phone call from someone that you haven't spoken to for a while, and they say, hi Claire, it's Charlotte, and I'm like, Charlotte? She's like, yeah, Charlotte Hornsby. I used to go to the school with Charlotte Hornsby. Oh, hi Charlotte. And she's like, yeah, I know, it's a bit out of the blue, isn't it? We haven't spoken in years. Have you got a minute? Yeah, I've got a minute. Well, look, I've noticed that I've seen you on Facebook, and I've followed you on Facebook a few times, so I've been meaning to call you because I've got an idea to run past you. Don't know if it's going to be right for you or not, but I thought of you, Claire, because you seem to be very successful, and you're always very confident, and I don't know if it's going to be up your street, but I know it can give you an extra income that you can work around those twins that you've got. All I want to do is share some information. If I send you a short clip, would you have a look? If you had that phone call from someone right past, how would you feel? Makes you feel a bit special. They've just told you that, you know, why they've thought of you. So the phone or face-to-face is always preferable. But that doesn't mean to say you can't back that up with sending lots and lots of messages and lots of text messages. You know, so, and if you're talking to a customer, you know, what's your approach? You're going to invite them to a product launch, do a pup drop, C9, or one-to-one meeting over coffee and show them the stuff in your box. So it's all about, you know, and profiling your first 15 to 20 people. So after the first planning meeting, I'll have taken people through the business cycle and sent them off to do their who you know list properly, gone through exactly why they need a massive who you know list. And I would have sent them away to profile their first 15 to 20 people, if not 30 or 40, and emphasize that it's a minimum. My expectation would be that when we start practicing calls, you will be calling 5 people every day. That would be my minimum expectation. If you've got more time, 10 people a day. Okay, so it's having that, setting that expectation so that they know that I'm going to share with you the activity that you need to do to achieve that £2,000 a month. You can do this at your pace, but I'm just going to share with you what you need to do. I will help you, I'll work with you, but I can't do it for you. Okay. So then we're going to make contact with people. And obviously, in your First Steps Manager on page 25, this is the best way to contact people. So I would talk them through how you are going to contact people. And it's the 7 steps, okay, to engage with the person that you're speaking to. And essentially, it's, have you got a minute? Is this a good time? Something along those lines. I've got an idea to run past you, or I've just started working with an amazing business and I'd like to share it with you. Don't know if it's right for you, stage 3, but I thought of you because you're confident, bubbly and outgoing. And this will come from the sharing the opportunity sheet. And like I said, I don't know if it's up your street, but I know it can give you. It's really important that you teach your new person those specific words. I know it can give you extra income, something that you can work around the children, a lifestyle income, that house you've always wanted, the chance to leave your job, the opportunity not to go back to work once you've had your baby. And then stage 6, all I want to do, and this is when you need to know your objective, all I want to do is share some information with you just so you can see if there's something there for you or not. And then you've got a choice of, if I send you a short clip, would you have a look? Or have you got 20 minutes where we can meet for coffee and I'll show you what I'm doing? I'm free on Wednesday or Thursday, when's good for you? So it's having that objective and it's making that contact. And it's making sure that you use those sharing the opportunity sheets. So you're making a call, it's about the personality, using the information that you've taken to put into that call, and that's why it's so important. Make sure you prepare, and this is the other thing that I always teach people that have just joined the business. So, and this is really, really important for your new business owner, because there are a few things that happen when you join the business. You need to set the expectations of the activity and the work that they need to put in to be able to build the income that they're looking for. But also it's preparing them for the common questions that are likely to come up and making them comfortable with what they're going to say about why they've joined the business. And also that helps, because if people start to get asked questions when they're on the phone, prospecting in particular, that they're not sure how to answer, then they will stop picking up the phone. So it's really important that you get people as soon as you can, when you're in a second plan meeting, to be comfortable and confident about their story, because it will help them to make an effective call. So it's always, you know, your current situation and the issue that you have, how Forever is solving that, and now what your future looks like. So this example is I run my own childcare business, which is very successful, but the income isn't great. So the issue, the challenge, you know, however, the hours are very long and it's stressful with so much paperwork and red tape, and I definitely was looking for a better way. So the solution, they've come across a dynamic global brand which offers not only much greater potential, but also time flexibility, and the option to travel with them. And then the future. So I'm really excited about what I found, that in the first time in many years, I feel the future is secure and I can finally achieve what I want to in life. So that's just one example. I mean, other people I work with, for example, I've got a lady who works part-time in childcare, desperately wants to buy a house. She loves what she does, so her story would be, funny enough, she's in childcare. You know, well, I love my work. I work in childcare, but I work part-time and I work school hours. So the income isn't enough, and I desperately want to buy a house. So I've come across a fantastic business which is going to enable me to build an extra income around that job that I enjoy. And it means that I'm really excited that I'll be moving into a new house within the next year. So I can finally get our own place. So it's making sure that they're comfortable with those kind of conversations. And it's making, you know, so you've got to make that initial contact, okay? And you can either do that by phone call, by text, by Facebook, by face-to-face, or at a product launch. Don't forget, product launch is really, really important as well for sponsoring new people and sharing the business opportunities. So make sure that you're really fully equipped when your person is doing the launch to make sure you capture anyone that might be interested in joining the business and offering the opportunity to everybody. And you're going to get, you know, there are certain things that you're going to get asked as well. And it's important making sure that you know the hot button. You've done your sharing a profile. It's really important. You've done your profiling before you contact someone. So if you look at text messages, okay, so you could send someone a text message that could say, you know, hi, how are you? I don't know if you've heard, but I've started a new business. It's really exciting with a potential to make a second income of £1,000 a month. Would love to share it to you. There might be something you would like to do with me. Okay, so that's a great example of a text message. A Facebook message, hi Dave, you know, chat and general conversation. You know, I've mentioned that I'd like to leave work, spend more time with the kids. You know, well, I think I found a way to achieve that. If I sent you a video, would you take a look? I think it would be perfect for you. Okay, so these are great examples of things that you can do. And incidentally, when I'm talking about Facebook, I will always encourage people to view the Facebook profile, the Facebook training that we have in all of our groups. It's really important because Facebook is really important that you get it right. You know, and before you're making contact with people on Facebook, it's really important that you start to paint a picture of that person, their background, and using the profiling sheets, you know, to find out why this business would be beneficial to them, and still doing the profiling. It's so important not to copy and paste and spam people. You know, be interested, find common ground, find out the reason why, their hot button if you don't know them well already. So find that information, asking questions about them. You know, be an expert storyteller and sell relevant stories about them. And I would encourage you, don't copy and paste, don't send massive messages or try and be someone else or be over familiar with people that you don't know well, because there's nothing worse than that. So, you know, make sure that you work with your upline to get these messages right, and make sure that you help your new person with really good messages if they're going to send them. Get them to run them past you first before they send them. I always do that. It's so important. And then you get asked common questions. So, and so what you want to do is make sure that your new forever business owner is comfortable with some of those questions that they're going to get asked. Okay, so one of the common questions that comes up when you've gone through page 25, got an idea to run past you, not quite sure if it's for you, etc., etc. If I send you a short clip to have a look, most common question is, well, what is it? Okay, now you have some answers in your book on page 26 which you can direct people to help them with what they're going to say. It's important to rehearse that and make sure that they're comfortable with what to say, because otherwise they'll stop picking up the phone in fear of being asked that question. So, you know, what is it? Well, I work under a global company in the health and wellbeing industry. Have a look at the clip, it explains it a lot better than I can. Or the best way for me to show you is to show you. Let's meet for coffee. It's too difficult to explain over the phone. Okay? Is it selling? That's an interesting question. What makes you ask that? Find out the motivation behind the question. It's really important first with something like, is it selling? Is it a pyramid scheme? Is it one of those things? That's an interesting question. What makes you ask that? That's really important. Find out the motivation, because for all you know, they might love selling. For all you know, they'll be looking for a network marketing company. You know, so but you need to teach people the answers to these questions so that they're comfortable with what to say when they do those initial calls, because that's really, really important. Okay, I haven't got time. Okay, it's like, I know how you feel. That's exactly how I felt. But what I found with this opportunity is that I can fit it in the nooks and crannies. Have a look at the clip. It explains it a lot better than I can. So make sure you're coaching your new forever business owner how to answer those common questions at the end of that page 25. It's really important, because then they will be comfortable picking up the phone. Do some role playing. So you've got some examples here. The company's called Forever. Have you heard of it? We're a $2.6 billion business, trading in over 150 countries. So you've got a few examples here, but you find the one that works for you and keep it succinct. Use the same one with everybody because it's easy and it's duplicable. Okay, so then what we're going to do is teach our new forever business owners. If they say yes, they're happy to look at some information, then they get listed on the activity tracker. And you're going to write the details on here of what they've seen, whether a warm contact, and you're going to take them through the importance of the activity tracker. And we all know as forever business owners why it is so important. Okay, and it's understanding, this is like your database of people that are looking at the business. It's where you can get your statistics from, and it helps you to build your business, keep your notes, it keeps you organized, and it keeps a structure to your business, and it's duplicable, and you can show your new forever business owners how easy this business is. Okay? If they're a no, don't forget, offer them a product, or and forward them in your diary for a few months. Okay, is it okay if we keep in touch from time to time, just to see how you're doing, and I can let you know how we're doing. Okay, so keep in touch with them, offer them some products, and also ask for referrals as well. If you're working part-time, you want 20 people listed in your activity tracker every week, 25. If you're full-time, you want more like 50. 30 minimum. Okay, so it's important that these get filled in, and that's when at this point, this is when I would encourage my new forever business owner to send these to me on a Sunday evening, so that when we have our planning meeting, I've got all the information that I need to help them and to go through exactly how they're getting on with what calls. And incidentally, you want to keep in touch with people when they start making calls. Obviously, do some role playing, and if you can meet them in person to do calls together, that's important. Okay, and then give them 5 minutes to consider the activity tracker. Give yourself 5 minutes to consider your activity tracker. Okay, so then finally, you're going to invite them to a business presentation. Okay, now a business presentation is the next stage. So we've spoken to them about the opportunity. We're then going to call them and ask them what they liked about what they saw. And the next stage will be to take them to the business presentation. Now, we have a recorded version, which is fantastic. And there are also venues that you can go to in your local area to take someone to a business presentation. Or you can do them at home, or you can do them online. Now, whichever way you wish to do it is entirely up to you. But obviously, it's teaching your new forever business owner the best way for them. I always encourage the new forever business owner to attend their weekly business presentation in their local area. It's an essential part of being in the business with Forever. And again, it's setting expectations. For you to achieve your £2,000 a month, you're setting expectations all the time. My expectation is, this is the activity you need to do. We need to put the launches in the diary. We need to do the C9. We need to get the pup pack out. We need to send out messages about the child group. We need to speak to 5 people a day. We need to attend our weekly BP. We need to go to the success days, etc., etc. So it's setting the expectation. Okay, and don't forget, with the weekly business presentation, you can take guests. That's the key. You can take guests with you. You can do them at home. So make sure they've got them noted in the diary. And then you can introduce your guests to meeting leaders and successful forever business owners. You get to meet other forever business owners because it fuels your motivation, your enthusiasm for your business. And this is where you need to be building your team, and monkey see, monkey do. You lead by example. If you go to business presentations, so will your team. They will be motivated every week. They will start to take guests. It's so important that these things are instilled in people from day one. And look how amazing this First Steps to Manager tool is to enable us to do that. So at the end of the business presentation, it's asking the right questions. What did you like about what you saw? What's the bit that you liked the most? So can you see how by working with me, you can achieve X, Y, Z? Okay, so you're teaching your new forever business owner how to take people around the cycle and how simple it is to take people around the cycle. Okay. So then it's introducing them to the 7-day plan and getting this organization for them so that they can start working effectively and organized from day one, okay, although this would be in your second planning meeting, she said. Okay, so they've got a goal of £2,000 a month, for example. So it's breaking that down to a 90-day goal, a monthly goal, which will be your volume map, and a weekly to-do list, and then your 7-day plan. So it's understanding the importance of a 7-day plan. And it's taking your, once you've started volume mapping and showing people where this income comes from, so if you go back to when we were talking about scaling and how much money they're going to earn, and, so once they do their launches, an average launch, you can start talking them through their volume map. It all goes into their 7-day plan. So you've got in here, you can show people that all the people they're going to ring that week. Now, this is based on 3 people a day. I would implore you to make sure there's at least 5 per day on there. They can print lots of these out. And I encourage people to use these alongside a daily diary where you've got a page for every single day. Because your 7-day plan is going to be a situation where, on Monday you call Mike and he doesn't answer his phone, so you leave him a message. So you diarise to chase him up on Wednesday. So use your diary for that as well. It's and being organised and having organisation is really, really important. And then, so all your calls are going to go onto your 7-day plan, and then you're going to have your retail activity and your any other activity that you're doing on the right-hand side. So it could be booking your product launches. You've got a team webinar that's coming up that you need to organise. It's buying a couple of pup boxes. It's starting your C9. It could be booking a tabletop. It could be following up some people that you called last week who were watching the business presentation. It could be going out contact marketing or placing an advert in a local magazine or going to a network marketing meeting or something like that. And then you've got training and other events, so it's Ordering You Go Pro book, which is a book that I always recommend to people after their first planning meeting. It's so important, and 79 network marketing tips. Arranging planning sessions, recognizing your team. So I always encourage people to recognize people as soon as you possibly can. So if you have got a new forever business owner and you're talking through their 7-day plan, make sure they know that as soon as they've got a new team member, recognize them for any little thing that they do. It's so important. Personal development, listening to Compound Effect, watching, reading, going to local BP, listening into the rolling program on Sunday night, making sure they've got their tickets for Success Express, making sure they've got their booking for the next sizzle in the diary. It's those kind of things that you're setting an expectation and an understanding of how they need to work this business from day one. So using the tools is there to make things as easy as possible for people, and people will follow. And we know that if we don't plan, fail to plan, plan to fail, and you can put a plan in place, but if you don't do the action, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you put a plan in place and you do the action, but you keep going blindly and you're putting an action in action, but you're not getting the results, then you need to tweak the plan. These plans are there to help you to help them. So obviously, as a forever business owner yourself, you need to make sure you're using them, and also as your team are using them, they're there to help you. So I always encourage my team to send me these on a Sunday night along with their activity trackers. And it's something, so you plan, you do, and you review. So if, for example, all these calls are being made, their activity trackers are full and full and full, but they're not recruiting, then you need to go back to the nitty-gritty. Let's have a look at what they're doing. Have you done some role plays? Have you seen some messages that were sent through Facebook? How can you help them? What is it that you can do to find out what needs tweaking? So it's really important, and this is where the discipline kicks in, because And often with a 7-day plan, it's important for people to understand that this is like a habit that people need to use all the time, you know, and it's important that you work closely with them because people can become complacent. So it's really important that you're always fueling their motivation and they understand that you've got their back and you're going to help them as much as you possibly can. You know, so it's all of these things that you're going to put in there, you know, registering on the company website, for example. And I would also show them how to use the groups and how, you know, active to be in the groups and to make sure that they recognise others and that they also, you know, say well done for the people that are achieving as well. So this is a manager developing business. So the last part of the first steps to manager is going to talk you through why this is a manager developing business, because as you focus on other people, your business will grow. So you get maximum personal bonuses if you help other people to develop manager businesses, okay? Maximum team building bonuses, access to the company's incentives, Forever to Drive, travel, chairman's bonus, and I know that because that's what I've achieved, and it is a phenomenal business for what they give you. It's just amazing. And if someone like me can do this and help other people build manager businesses, anybody can. And it's really important that you use these tools and you use the first steps to manager when you're training new people as well as you possibly can, and that you set expectations from day one, and that you lead by example. You know, and you're ready to build a royalty style income. Once you help people get to manager, you get paid for life. You get paid for life. You can't lose your position once you get there as well. So this is your 5-month plan to manager. Okay, so how urgent is this £2,000 a month? I mean, £2,000 a month, you need to be a senior manager really. 5 months to manager, 5, 15, 30, 50, 70. Then you've got, so it's important that you show people these plans. You've got a 6-month plan to manager and a 7-month plan. Which plan does your new forever business owner want to work towards? How soon do they need to build that income? Remember, they set the pace. So if you looked at a 6-month plan, so in your first month, 5 CCs. Okay, so we retail 2 to 3, we sponsor 1 to 3, personal use about half to 1, and repeat customers. So you're going to bring in about 4 to 8 CC, which means you're going to come in at 5. So you can show people how. You're now starting to show people how to volume map, okay? So now starting showing people on the second planning meeting how this all works and how it all comes together. Month 2, you've now got 3 in your team, okay? So we do 5 CCs, we have some personal use, and then we've got 2 other people doing 5 CC, okay? So that's 10 CC. Now we've got 7 in our team. So we do 5 CC. Okay, which is, then we've got some personal use, and then we've got 4 other people doing 5 CC now, and also doing some personal use as well. Okay, so that's 20 CC, and this is how your team starts to grow. So everyone's journey to manager is personal. It doesn't matter if it's 5 months, 7 months, or longer, but what matters is that you're working your plan. And it's very important for people to understand that it is working a plan consistently and daily until they hit that goal. If they're sporadic and they do a little bit and stop and do a little bit more then stop and have a day off then go on holiday then do this, you're not going to build that income. They need to know that you've got their back, you're there to help them, you're there to hold their hand. You can't do it for them, but you can show them what to do and you can do it with them. There are many ways to get to manager, but what matters is developing a structure to work towards. Structure your activity depending on your time and your commitments. There's no perfect way, but what matters is putting in the activity. So help people open their diary and put times in for forever. Help them make it some kind of priority around what they're doing. Help them to have a look at what they can change or what they can sacrifice in order to be able to do their forever business. And share stories. Share stories. I'm a key example of someone who stopped watching TV, who used to love to get into bed at 7 o'clock. Okay? I don't mind doing a couple of hours in the evenings. It means we can have the lifestyle that we have now. And actually I thoroughly enjoy speaking to people on Skype. So building your manager business, and it's going back to, you know, those 5 key people. Okay, so if you've got 5 key people in your team, and we've got people who are building great businesses, this is how you will build your manager business. If you focus on other people, you focus on helping them to help others, this is how your manager business will build. Okay, so take time to plan your activity. Take time with the new business owner to plan their activity. If you're listening to this now, take time to do that yourself. Don't get stuck fuzzing around and getting your head down like a headless chicken, just trying to plow through a load of stuff, and you don't actually know if that is you're generating the income that you want. Think about what you want to do this for. Is it for time, school fees, personal success? Do you want to be on that stage? Do you want to send the kids to private school? Is it for travel? Do you want to pay off your mortgage? Plan. It's so important that you plan and that you teach your new business owners to plan as well. And remember Richard Branson, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity but you're not sure you can do it, just say yes and I'll do it later. Okay? But you do need to learn how to do it. It's important. And finally, I wish everybody who has watched this video a huge amount of success. There's some really, Forever are amazing at giving you the tools to build a successful business as simply and as duplicatable as possible, to make it easy to show other people how to do the same thing. Focus on others and help them to achieve and you would achieve. They are the key things that I would go away with. Make sure you plan. Make sure you understand how your business can get to where it's going. Make sure that you can help your forever business owners to understand how they can achieve those case credits. And I wish you all every success. And thank you very much for watching this video.